My family's been touched by the March of Dimes. Both of our children were born preterm, 28 weeks and 25 weeks. Our story started in 2005 when I went into preterm labor on January 21st. I was rushed to the hospital, put on bed rest, where I had hoped to receive the appropriate amount of steroids to keep Peyton's lung development going on the right track. I kept him in for 5 days on bed rest when I came down with an infection, which put me into preterm labor. I had already been dilated, that's why I was down there, ruptured membranes. So the infection caused me to actually go into active labor, and I had a seizure and they rushed me into an emergency C-section where he was born at 28 weeks, weighing 3 pounds 4 ounces. He was rushed back to the NICU and he received surfactant. He was only on the ventilator for a mere, I think it was an hour and a half, where most babies at his gestation are on for quite a long time. He just sailed through all the respiratory treatments, didn't have really any setbacks, and we went home after 6 weeks in the hospital in Eugene. And we decided that we wanted to try having another baby. Not knowing what caused me to go into preterm labor with Peyton, we're like, okay, we'll give it a shot and have another baby. The pregnancy was going totally normal. I was doing progesterone treatments just to help thicken my amniotic sac, which was crazy, a little bit painful, but they were hoping that that would keep me from having issues this time around. At 20 weeks with Slade, I was dilated to 3 centimeters and they determined that I have an incompetent cervix. They did a cerclage and I was on bed rest for a full month before I went into active labor and had to drive down to Springfield to be put back on bed rest in the hospital in hopes to stop the labor because they wanted me to go as far as possible. A couple days after that, they determined that his health was at risk and I needed to deliver him right away. So I delivered him in the morning of February 24th and he was whisked away into the NICU where our 111-day stay started. Throughout that, he had ups and downs with respiratory treatments. Even though he received surfactant, he still was really struggling. They determined he had a PDA, which by the end of our stay, he was transferred to Portland where he had heart surgery at a mere, 8 pounds. And after that, he came home healthy, still on oxygen, still receiving physical therapy and watching very closely for any developmental delays. And now our roller coaster is good. 2 healthy boys playing football and couldn't tell anything was wrong.
So the feelings I felt as a dad, when my oldest son was born, my wife had a seizure, and I asked the nurse, I remember standing there, asked the nurse, I said, is my son going to be okay? And she says, I don't know. I said, is my wife going to be okay? We don't know. You're all alone. You have no idea what's going to happen. And you have no control of doing anything to help them.
So what March of Dimes means to our family. The only thing I can say is that I don't think I would have my children if it wasn't for the March of Dimes.
You know, you look at our kids today and you wouldn't realize that they were premature babies. Our oldest son, Peyton, he's been one of the tallest kids in his class. You know, and we tell people that they were both premature babies and they don't believe us. My wedding ring went clear up to my son's shoulder when he was born. There's just, you know, little things that in the back of your mind, you know how they were, but you look at them today and you forget, you know, and I don't think we would be here if it wasn't for March of Dimes.
Thank you, March of Dimes!